Website feedback tracking sucks. Well, not always, but it can. I spent 10 years as a digital producer and I have tracked a lot of website feedback in that time. And there were many different tools and many systems that all had different benefits. Sometimes an Excel spreadsheet was the simplest way to go. Other times it was a Trello board. More recently, it might have been a Notion board. And quite often Jira was in the mix as well, especially with development teams working on longer term maintenance and ongoing projects. But with a new project or with a team that's maybe not as technically savvy, BugHerd is a tool that can really help manage the process. What it does is it lets you pin things visually on the website. So someone with less technical skills, maybe a client, maybe a project manager, can go through the site and tag the issues or their comments in line. You can then mark them as either feedback to be assessed to decide whether they're worthy of development inclusion or if they need more information, or they can go straight into the backlog or the to-do list. Works particularly well with agile teams when you're working in that kind of backlog sprint structure, but it can also just be a helpful tool for anyone with a new website project or a development project. And I should add, it actually integrates with Jira, Asana, Trello, lots of different tools. So you can use it as an add-on to those systems. It doesn't have to be separate, but what it adds is this visual component for tagging things in line. So I'm going to walk you through it. In this demo, I'll show you how we've set it up for Producing Paradise to test it out, how you tag issues in line on the site, and then how that appears on the back end. So you can decide if it might be a tool that would be useful to your team. It does come with a cost, but in my mind, the cost can be worth it for projects where you need this level of management. Sometimes you won't, but sometimes you will. Anyway, have a look, see what you think. This little doobie down the side is what you get when you're signed in. And so on this page, for example, this is the home page. It says I have one task. If I click on the pin here, it tells me what that task is. And if there were more tasks, I could sort them by different variables. You can record feedback or you can tag the page. So in this case, I've tagged the page where there's an issue with the main logo needing less space around it. As you scroll down, you might notice that there are other things that you want to change. So if I wanted to add a piece of feedback here, I'd click the plus button and then I'd tag the element. So here it might be, I don't want this to be pink anymore. So I'd say, remove pink border from blog post links. Severity, I would say it's minor, don't really mind. I'm not going to assign anyone. It's just going to go on the backlog. Maybe I could call it feedback and create the task. So once you've created the task, it pops up in this task list because I'm on that page on the live site. But now if we hop into the BugHerd backend and refresh, we'll now see that that task has popped up in the feedback list. Feedback list is for the team to then assess and figure out if it belongs on the backlog. If we then have a conversation about this and say, yeah, I think actually, reading about what this task is, I do want it to go into the backlog. This will now move it here into the backlog. And then say we're working through what's in the backlog, we might decide, actually, this one's really important. Let's do this in the next sprint or the next block of development time. And so you'd move that one along. And then as things get completed, they would move along the chain and you can see where they're done, or you can add comments, view the log of what's happened, add attachments if you want to add more details. So it gives you this Kanban board view, very similar to Jira or Trello or Notion if you use it that way. And it integrates with those products, or at least with Jira, Asana, Trello, GitHub, and a few others. You can start to filter this board by, okay, what's design feedback? What's website feedback? What are unread comments? We might also want to sort them by which ones came through most recently or the most severe. And then you can also sort by things that are assigned to me, which are none at the moment. So moving back, if I was to go into one of the other pages of the website, I'll then see there's no tasks on this page, but I could go in to see what all the tasks are across the website. But this page, nothing. And I know that I have some feedback about this page, but it happens on mobile. So I would tag an element And I would say here, heading 2 needs to be larger than heading 3 on mobile, currently appearing smaller. And I'll say this is critical. And I think it should be to do next. And we create that task. And so now it'll show me that I've got on this page 1 task. It's in the all task list. And if I go into here, I now want to remove the assigned filter, and I can see that task is in there. So someone might start doing that task, they'd move it into doing, and you can see how things move along the chain. So some of the issues that this addresses is, rather than having really vague feedback where someone says, oh, you know, that heading on that page, you can say really specifically, oh, it's this heading on this page, and tag it in line. If people can't explain where or what the issue is, being able to do it visually in line helps sort of non-technical people be able to share their feedback in a really specific way. And it helps for the status tracking. So for the team who's working on the fixes or the project, this helps everyone see in one place where things are up to. And especially with an agile process where you'd have a backlog of tasks and you'd be working out which tasks or which group of tasks are going to be addressed in the next sprint, this is really designed to work with those teams and with that process. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's good for project managers, it's good for developers, and it's good for your clients or stakeholders, anyone involved in the website project, if you do want to share this level of access with them. Another way to handle it would be to compile feedback with the clients separately and then use this system internally. But yes, it has a cost attached to it, of course. There's a free trial that we're using at the moment, so you can actually have a go for 7 days and see if it's going to work for you or not. So that's a good way to assess whether the price is going to be worth it for your team. And I've got a blog post where this video will appear. This just kind of walks through how it works, and it has a link to sign up for the free trial and give us a little referral kickback in case it's something that you want to try based on what you've seen here. We would love that. Good luck with your website feedback tracking, and if you're interested in other tips about website project management or any other kind of organizational gloriousness, feel free to subscribe or leave a comment if there was any feedback you have on this video. Thank you so much and hope to see you soon. Bye.